Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope that you're all doing very well. Thank you so much for being here today. Here is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Democratic lawmakers are ready to kick into high gear to get President Joe Biden's infrastructure plan signed into law. The fourth round of stimulus payments may have new eligibility requirements and income thresholds. Remember that this Friday, I will be giving away more $75 Amazon gift cards. Please enter my giveaway by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and also leaving a comment below. Thank you so much, everyone. Democrats will face a critical month on infrastructure in July as they reckon with deep schisms in their ranks and questions over legislative strategy and policy specifics of a bill that the party wants to position itself with ahead of the midterm elections. The busy month of July will test Democratic congressional leaders, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, both of whom govern diverse caucuses and control narrow majorities, where just a handful of members could bring the president's legislative agenda to a screeching halt. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are navigating a delicate balancing act over President Joe Biden's agenda amid calls from moderates for a quick passage of a bipartisan bill, while progressives are focused on securing a more sweeping measure that can pass the Senate with only Democratic votes, under a process known as budget reconciliation. The infrastructure push is set to kick into high gear in the Senate when the chamber returns to Washington after the July 4th holiday recess. Chuck Schumer has set an ambitious goal during the next session. His goal is to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill on the floor, a product that currently has the backing of 11 Republicans, but still faces resistance from liberal members in the Senate, and advance a massive budget resolution, a blueprint that will guide what's included in the Democrats' broader infrastructure package.
So we will talk about many issues, but I do want to first start by making a statement about the legislators in Texas who are showing extraordinary courage and commitment. I met with them when many of them traveled to Washington, D.C. We sat down and had an extensive conversation in the Roosevelt Room in the White House. And I applaud them standing for the rights of all Americans and all Texans to express their voice through their vote, unencumbered. I will say that they are leaders who are marching in the path that so many others before did when they fought and many died for our right to vote. And I'll say this later in my comments, but I do believe that fighting for the right to vote is as American as apple pie. It is so fundamental to fighting for the principles of our democracy. So I applaud them, and it is with that spirit as well that we meet today. Over the past many weeks, I've been meeting with advocates and activists on the ground in places like South Carolina and in Georgia. Here, of course, in Michigan. Again, I applaud the work that is happening in 2020. You had folks mask up and get to the streets to do what was necessary, to stand in line, to mail in ballots, to vote. And you turned out extraordinary numbers.
In a Dear Colleague letter, Chuck Schumer wrote, "My intention for this work period is for the Senate to consider both the bipartisan infrastructure legislation and a budget resolution with reconciliation instructions, which is the first step for passing legislation through the reconciliation process. Over the break, Democratic and Republican aides worked around the clock to turn a legislative framework from the bipartisan infrastructure group into legislative text. Sources told CNN News the work is ongoing, but a source also told CNN News that it's impossible for Chuck Schumer to put the bill on the floor for a vote as soon as this week. At the same time, Democrats are still trying to find a consensus on a budget resolution, which will set the parameters for how big their own infrastructure and social agenda bill will ultimately be, as the White House has been working closely to make it clear what their priorities are for that legislation. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer asked Democratic members to come up with a unity budget, which would have the backing of all Democrats on the committee. But those efforts were still underway with little indication that the budget would be ready to unveil before lawmakers return from break. Lawmakers need to quickly reach a bipartisan infrastructure deal so that the American people can receive additional financial relief as soon as possible. Millions of Americans are still facing large debts from last year for things like utilities, rent, and childcare. It is extremely important that a fourth round of stimulus payments is sent out very soon. Democratic members of the Senate Budget Committee will huddle tonight to attempt to iron out final sticking points in the Democratic budget. Two aides tell CNN News that negotiators are eyeing a budget in the realm of $3.5 trillion at this point, a massive investment, but far short of the $6 trillion Budget Committee Chairman Bernie Sanders first unveiled last month. That number continues to be a moving target and is not final, but is seen as the middle ground for progressives and moderates, who both serve on the committee. The $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act was narrowly passed in the Senate. Congress agreed that the third stimulus payments will end earlier once a household exceeds the income threshold for full payment. Individuals making less than $75,000 a year would qualify for the full check. The payments decrease for individuals earning $75,000 and up, and they phase out completely for individuals making $80,000 or more, and couples making $160,000 or more in adjusted gross income. That is a change from a prior income cap of $100,000. About 11.7 million adults and 4.6 million children did not receive their third checks under the Senate version as compared with the version that passed the House early this year. Payments in the previous House version would have ended at $100,000 for individuals and $200,000 in adjusted gross income for married couples. In the first round of $1,200 stimulus checks, payments ceased for individuals making $99,000 and couples making $198,000 in adjusted gross income. In the second round, for $600, payments ended at the adjusted gross income level of $87,000 for individuals and $174,000 for couples. So everyone, what do you think about the income thresholds? And what do you think the fourth stimulus check should be? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. So that is the end of the video, everyone, for tonight. I greatly appreciate you being here today. This coming Friday, I will be giving away more $75 Amazon gift cards. Enter my giveaway by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and also leaving a comment below. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a very blessed Monday.